Okay, good afternoon everyone. लास्ट लेक्चर मध्ये आपण कंपॅरेटर स्टार्ट केलं होतं. कंपॅरेटर मध्ये आपण न्यूमॅटिक कंपॅरेटर बघत होतो. युअर न्यूमॅटिक कंपॅरेटर advantages and disadvantages as well as the construction and working principle of your pneumatic comparator is covered in your last lecture. So today we will see what are the electrical comparators. Okay, so before that, the advantages and disadvantages part, I think that part was remaining. So first of all, we see what are the advantages of pneumatic comparator, disadvantages of pneumatic comparator, then application, and then we will go to the electrical comparators. Okay, so let us start. Advantages of pneumatic comparators. So as we all know that the pneumatic comparator based on the compressed air technology, whatever the pressure variations appear, that pressure variation shows you the magnification in the range of 300 to 5,000 to 30,000 times. Okay, there is a no moving part in particular this pneumatic comparator. So what are the advantages of this particular pneumatic comparator over your mechanical comparator are mentioned here. So first is the gauging head does not come in contact with the part to be measured, and hence practically no wear takes place on the gauging head. Gauging head means what? तिथे बघा, हा जो पर्टिक्युलर जो एरिया आहे, जो जिथे एअर आपण रिलीव्ह करतो आणि याच्यातली जो स्पेस असते, त्या स्पेस मधनं ती एअर रिलीव्ह होत असते, ती जर युनिफॉर्म असली वर पण आणि खाली पण, तर तुमचा पर्टिक्युलर ऑब्जेक्ट हा कम्प्लीट राऊंड आहे की नाही हे आपल्याला आयडेंटिफाय होत असतं. आपण हा एअर जेट जो आहे हा इथून पास करत असतो. ठीक आहे. तर ऍडव्हान्टेज मध्ये काय म्हणतोय, देर इज अ नो does not came in contact, any gauging head does not came in contact with the part to be measured. That's why no wear and tear takes place. In mechanical comparators, each and every component is a mechanical components, mechanical linkage, and in mechanical comparator we transfer the linear motion to the rotational motion by moving particular that linkage. So each and every part is come in contact with each other. That's why there is a wear and tear occurs, and your efficiency of that mechanical comparator is less. But here we use compressed air technology, so that's why no wear tear takes place, and this is more efficient than that of your mechanical comparators. It has usually no moving part, hence accuracy is more due to absence of friction and less inertia. So again, there is no wear tear and no frictions, and even they are having less inertia. So inertia means what? The weight of that particular linkages present in that device. So in this pneumatic comparator, simply compressed air is passing through a small area. That's why the inertia of that particular linkages used in pneumatic comparator are very less. Simply a cylinder, we are using a cylinder, so that's why there is a no friction and less inertia. That's why the accuracy of pneumatic comparator is very more than that of your mechanical comparator. Now the measuring pressure is a very small, and the jet of air help in cleaning the dust, if any, from the part of measure. Means what? Whatever measuring pressure we are applying, that particular for the particular measurement is very small. Okay, so that also helps to clean the dust and dirt from the measurement, so you get the exact reading. So there is no effect of dust and dirt is occur. Next point is, it is possible to achieve very high degree of magnification. So that part we are already covered. The high magnification occurred, that is near about 1 to 30,000. Okay, so here two different points are mentioned here, but you just write this point simply by combining this point, that we have, it is possible to achieve a very high degree of magnifications near about 1 to 30,000. Okay, so 1 to 30,000 magnification we are getting in this particular device. It is very suitable device for measuring diameter of holes in the cases where the diameter is very small as compared to the length. Okay, so by this we can measure the diameter of holes where the diameter is very small as compared with the length. Means in any part, suppose you are manufacturing a product which having a very small diameter as compared to the length, means a very long rod having inside diameter of very small diameter. So in that case we are passing that air through that particular hole, and we can calculate the dimension of that particular hole. Okay, so inside diameter of that hole can be measured with the help of pneumatic comparator. Okay, then it is probably the best method for determining ovality and taperness of circular holes. So ovality, roundness, ovality and taperness, these all three parameters are measured with the help of this pneumatic comparator. Or mostly for the roundness and ovality and taperness measurement we are using this pneumatic comparator, because we are getting exact reading or exact variation in your dimension. Okay, it can be handled by semi-skilled worker. So some semi-skilled kind of worker is required. Why semi-skilled kind of worker is required in for your mechanical comparator? You are doesn't require any skill in the worker, because simply you are measuring the value that's shown on your particular dial indicator. But in this case the handling of your particular air pressure is necessary, and your accuracy is depend upon that particular. Just 1 minute, I will join the students. Admit all. Okay. Okay. So in your mechanical comparator, no skill is required, because you just read a particular value on your dial. But in this case, the handling of air pressure is important factor. So that's why we require some semi-skilled worker or a worker with having some experience or hands-on on that particular device. Okay. Now let us see what are the disadvantages of this pneumatic comparator. So first disadvantage is limited range available. So very a limited range of devices available for the measurement. Limited range means what? They can measure the value from suppose 50 mm of diameter to 150 mm of diameter. Above 150 mm of diameter or above something, that they are available in particular, or they are manufactured for the particular range only. Okay. And second, it requires auxiliary equipment such as air filter, accurate pressure regulator, and manometer. Okay. So in your mechanical comparators, it doesn't require any other auxiliary equipments. Okay. Any other auxiliary equipments. We just simply use one dial and one plunger. Okay. But here there is a necessity of your air filter, pressure regulator, and manometer. Okay, why this is so? Because air filter is required to filter out the dust and dirt particle comes with the air. Then pressure regulator maintains the accurate pressure that we are passing through that particular space, and manometer will show you the reading or the difference between that particular dimension. So this extra auxiliary equipments we require for the measurement of dimension with your pneumatic comparators. So that's why the cost is also high as compared to your mechanical comparator, and as well as the maintenance, it require more maintenance as compared with your mechanical comparator. So low rate of response as compared to the electrical magnification system. Now till we are comparing this particular pneumatic comparator with your mechanical comparator, but here the one more disadvantages is mentioned, in which we are comparing. Okay, students are added. So here we are comparing this particular pneumatic comparator with your electrical magnification system. So first we learn mechanical comparator, then we learn pneumatic comparator, then later we will learn about the electrical comparator. So as we move forward, the magnification is improved or the efficiency of particular comparator is improved. Okay, as well as the cost of the particular system is also increases. It is not portable. So obviously it is not a portable device. We cannot move this device from one place to another because some auxiliary parts that are heavy in weight, like your air filters, then pressure regulators and manometer. So that's why this is heavy part. So this is not a portable thing like your mechanical comparator. Next is different gauging heads are required for the different dimensions. So this is very important factor. We doesn't have different gauging heads for the different dimension measurement, like we are for the your height measurement, for your roundness measurement, for your ovality measurement, we are having just one gauging head, that is your manometric height. So that's why this is one more disadvantage. And last one is your need external power source to drive the compressor. So this is again your important disadvantage because it's required external source of power to run the compressor. If we store some compressed air in the compressor, then we can utilize that pneumatic comparator without electricity. But in case if you are not having some compressed air in your compressor, then at that time we required the electricity. Okay, so it is partially depend upon the electricity also, availability of your electricity. Okay, now let us see what are the application of pneumatic comparator. So to check the bores of cylinder block, then to check the straightness of various surfaces, and last to check the outside diameters of the cylindrical components. So these are the three important applications of your pneumatic comparator. So this is all about your pneumatic comparator. Okay, so here we complete your mechanical comparators and pneumatic comparator completely. Now we will move towards your electrical comparator. So generally in your first year physics or somewhere in your 10 or 11 standard, I think in your physics, that part is covered, that is linear variable differential transformer, LVDT. Okay, this is known as your LVDT. Okay, LVDT word तुम्ही ऐकलाच असेल. what is linear variable differential transformer. जवळपास 11वी-12वी फिजिक्स मध्ये पण हा टॉपिक झाला आहे आणि डिप्लोमा मध्ये पण तुमचं झालं असेल LVDT. बट we will learn this electrical comparator. The most important factor or the most important question from this unit is explain LVDT in details. So that question may be asked in your final examination. So first of all, we see what is electrical comparator and what is the principle of electrical comparator. Then we will learn the linear variable differential transformer in detail. Okay. So first we see what is the electrical comparator. So every comparators we are going to learn, the name itself indicate the method that we are using for the measurement. In your mechanical comparator we use mechanical components, in your pneumatic comparator we use compressed air technology. Like that, in your electrical comparators we use the electrical concept or concept of electricity to measure the dimension of that particular object. Okay, let us see. Electrical comparators can be categorized according to electrical principle used in the pickup head. So it is basically depend upon electrical principle that use in pickup heads. This comparator use a differential transformers. So what is a differential transformer and what is a Wheatstone bridge? What is strain gauge? What is capacitor? So this is the electrical part. So for this particular device, we just see what is transformer, what is Wheatstone bridge, and what is strain gauge. You just remember these words because due to time limit, I cannot explain what is Wheatstone bridge and what is strain gauge and what is mean by capacitor, what is the application of that particular devices. So for this unit, okay, there is a screen. Okay, these comparators use a differential transformer, an inductance or a Wheatstone's bridge, a strain gauge or a capacitor as a means of detecting the moment of gauging element or plunger. So here this particular devices like differential transformer is one devices, then your Wheatstone bridge is one device, your strain gauge and capacitor is one device. So these different types of electrical devices we use to detect the movement of that plunger. Like your mechanical comparator, we use a simply indicating pointer. Okay, that is a mechanical pointer to indicate your value on the screen. In your pneumatic comparator, we use compressed air. But here, these electrical devices are used in different types of electrical comparators. So in your LVDT, we use your differential transformer. In other electrical comparators, we use Wheatstone bridge as well as strain gauge. Okay, so it is depend upon the method of particular comparator, how that comparator is designed and for what purpose it is designed. So you just understand what is the basic of electric comparator and nothing else. Okay, so electrical comparator has magnification which ranges from 600 to 10,000. So its magnification capacity is less than that of the your pneumatic comparator and higher than that of your mechanical comparator. So it having the magnification in between mechanical and pneumatic comparator. Okay, now electrical comparator is also known as electromechanical measuring system. Electromechanical measuring system, as it consists of electromechanical device, means in this device not totally the parts are electrical components, some parts are mechanical that attach with your electrical devices to magnify the output. Okay, so it consists of electromechanical device which converts the mechanical displacement into electrical signal. So your mechanical, what is the mechanical displacement or movement happens, that mechanical movement or mechanical displacement will be converted into electrical signal and we are getting the result in the form of electrical signals. So that's why they are known as electrical comparator. But here the moment of the particular displacement of the particular device is happen with the help of mechanical devices. So what are those mechanical devices, how these functions, so that all we will learn in your LVDT. Okay, so here linear variable differential transformer, LVDT, is the most popular electromechanical device or the electromechanical transducer used to convert a mechanical displacement into electrical signals. So what is the function of this particular LVDT? LVDT converts that particular value of mechanical device into electrical signal. Okay, or whatever the electrical mechanical displacement is converted into electrical signal. A block diagram of electromechanical measuring system is shown below. So here the block diagram of electromechanical system is shown. The signal is fed to signal conditioning unit. Okay, so first signal is fed, means fed means supply. The signal is first fed to the signal conditioning unit, which increases the strength of signal so that it can be given to display the device to give detailed quantitative information. Means what? Whatever electrical signal we are supplying, that supplying signal should be first fed to your signal conditioning unit. One signal conditioning unit is used there. That signal conditioning unit increases the strength of signal. Okay, so whatever signal we are getting at our panel, that is very inadequate to read the readings. So that's why one signal conditioning unit is utilizing to improve the value of that or improve the strength of that signal. So we can easily read or the value on your particular device. Okay, for the quantitative information, we use that signal conditioning unit. So here is your diagram. The mechanical displacement, we provide a mechanical displacement first to electromechanical transducer, then output of electromechanical transducer in the form of signal goes to signal conditioning device, then signal conditioning output is goes to the readout or display, and observer can observe the value on this particular display. ठीक आहे. याला सिम्पली जर सांगायचं झालं तर काय होत असतं, एक मेकॅनिकल डिस्प्लेसमेंट, जसं प्लंजरमध्ये आपलं मेकॅनिकल डिस्प्लेसमेंट होत होतं. ठीक आहे, एखादा ऑब्जेक्ट जेव्हा मी त्या प्लंजरच्या खाली ठेवला की त्याची जेवढी हाईट असेल तेवढा तो प्लंजर काय होईल, प्रेस होईल. ठीक आहे, मी 2 mm ची प्लेट ठेवली तर तो प्लंजर थोडासाच कॉम्प्रेस्ड होईल. मी 10 mm ची प्लेट ठेवली किंवा 40 mm ची प्लेट ठेवली, जेवढे जेवढे मी डायमेन्शन वाढवत जाईल तेवढा तेवढा तो प्लंजर काय होईल, कॉम्प्रेस होत जाईल आणि त्याचं रिडिंग तो आपल्याला पर्टिक्युलर डायल इंडिकेटरवर मेकॅनिकल कम्पॅरेटरमध्ये शो करत होता. तसंच इथे काय आहे, जे पण मेकॅनिकल डिस्प्लेसमेंट होतंय, समजा एक प्लंजर जर यूज केला असेल तर त्याचं जे पण मेकॅनिकल डिस्प्लेसमेंट होते, म्हणजे जो पुढे मागे मूव्ह होत असेल तो, ठीक आहे, जी पण लेंथ व्हेरिएशन होत असेल किंवा डायमेन्शन व्हेरिएशन होत असतील, त्याचं जे पण मुवमेंट होईल, ती जी मुवमेंट आहे ती मुवमेंट आपण कनेक्ट केलेली आहे का इलेक्ट्रोमेकॅनिकल ट्रान्सड्युसरला. तर ट्रान्सड्युसर म्हणजे काय असतं, ट्रान्सड्युसर ही खूप मोठी कन्सेप्ट आहे. आपण त्याच्यात भरपूर पार्ट्स आहेत, पण मी तुम्हाला सिम्पली सांगतो ट्रान्सड्युसर काय करत असतो. जर तुम्ही तुमचं पिस्टन आणि इंजिन सिलेंडर जर बघितलं, त्याच्यात जी व्हर्टिकल मुवमेंट असते, एक पिस्टन एका सिलेंडरमध्ये कंटिन्युअसली व्हर्टिकली मूव्ह होत असतो आणि त्या मुवमेंटला तो, त्या पिस्टनच्या मुवमेंटला थ्रू क्रँक शाफ्ट, थ्रू कनेक्टिंग रॉड आणि क्रँक तो कन्व्हर्ट करतो रोटेशनल मोशन मध्ये आणि क्रँक शाफ्टला तुम्हाला रोटेशनल मोशन मिळते. ठीक आहे, तसंच इथे ट्रान्सड्युसर मध्ये काय असतं, एका व्हर्टिकल किंवा हॉरिझॉन्टल सिलेंडर मध्ये एक आतमध्ये एक छोटा सिलेंडर असतो आणि जेव्हा तुमचा एअरचा प्रेशर किंवा ऑइलचा प्रेशर तुम्ही त्याच्यावर इम्पार्ट करतात, तेव्हा त्या पर्टिक्युलर ऑब्जेक्टची स्लायडिंग मुवमेंट त्या पर्टिक्युलर सिलेंडरच्या आतमध्ये होत असते. एक्झाम्पल तुम्हाला बेस्ट सांगतो, पिचकारीचं एक्झाम्पल जर तुम्ही घेतलं तर पिचकारीला आपण मागे ओढलं तर एअर आतमध्ये येते आणि पुश केलं की ती एअर आउट बाहेर जात असते. तर ती जी स्लायडिंग मुवमेंट आहे एका सिलेंडर मधली, दॅट स्लायडिंग मुवमेंट इज युअर पर्टिक्युलर वर्किंग ऑफ युअर ट्रान्सड्युसर. Transducer also function like that. Okay, so that mechanical displacement is provided to electromechanical transducer, and whatever signal coming from this electromechanical transducer is provided to the signal conditioning device to increase the strength of that signal. Whatever signal we are getting here, that is very weak to read, so that's why we use signal conditioning device. इथून जो सिग्नल निघणार आहे तो सिग्नल खूप वीक आहे, तो आपण रीड करू शकत नाही, त्याच्यामुळे सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग कंडिशनिंग युनिटला आपण तो देतो. सिग्नल कंडिशनिंग युनिट त्याला स्ट्रेंथ वाढवतो आणि मग तुम्हाला तो डिस्प्लेवर शो करत असतो आणि इथे जो ऑब्झर्वर आहे त्याला डिस्प्लेवरती व्हॅल्यू रीड करता येते. सिम्पल फंक्शनिंग आहे. एलव्हीडीटी खूप सोपा आहे. एलव्हीडीटी तुम्ही पहिले पण शिकला असाल, त्याच्यामुळे थोडंफार माहिती असेल, पण आपण परत बघू. व्हॉट इज प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग, सेकंडरी वाइंडिंग, कोर्स काय असतात, सॉफ्ट कोर काय असते, आयर्न कोर काय असते, कसं फंक्शनिंग होत असतं, सगळं आपण एक्सप्लेन करू. सो इलेक्ट्रिकल कंपॅरेटर्स वर जर तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन आला तर फक्त प्रिन्सिपल काय आहे ते सांगायचं, मॅग्निफिकेशन रेंज किती आहे ते सांगायची, की इट वर्क्स ऑन द प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ डिफरन्शियल ट्रान्सफॉर्मर अँड विटस्टोन ब्रिज वगैरे हे डिव्हायसेस यूज होतात. त्याचे मॅग्निफिकेशन स्केल 600 to 10,000 आहे. तो इलेक्ट्रोमेकॅनिकल मेजरिंग डिव्हाइसच्या प्रिन्सिपलवर वर्क करतो. देन एलव्हीडीटी तुम्ही एक्सप्लेन केला तरी चालेल. ठीक आहे, किंवा ही डायग्राम एक्सप्लेन केली तरी चालेल, किंवा सरळ इलेक्ट्रिकल कंपॅरेटर विचारलं असेल तर तुम्ही एलव्हीडीटी एक्सप्लेन केला तरी चालेल. ओके, so let us see what are the advantages of electrical comparator. So there are many electrical comparator used, but we learn LVDT in detail because in your syllabus LVDT is mentioned separately, so that's why LVDT we will learn in detail. So first we will see what are the advantages of electrical comparator. Okay, so first an electrical comparator has very few moving parts, so less wear and tear. So electrical comparators में मध्ये मूविंग पार्ट्स खूप कमी असतात, लेस विअर टियर आहे. इट इज पॉसिबल टू हॅव हाय मॅग्निफिकेशन. It is possible to have high magnification and the same instrument can have two or more magnification, thus wide range is available. So आपल्याला न्यूमॅटिक कंपॅरेटर्स मध्ये एक लिमिटेड रेंज मिळत होती. याच्यामध्ये आपण वाईड रेंज ऑफ अवेलेबल करू शकतो. वाईड रेंज मेजरमेंटसाठी आपण इलेक्ट्रिकल कंपॅरेटरचा यूज करू शकतोय. ठीक आहे. आणि एकापेक्षा जास्त मॅग्निफिकेशन आपण गेन करू शकतो. ठीक आहे. लाईक युअर न्यूमॅटिक कंपॅरेटर. न्यूमॅटिक कंपॅरेटर मध्ये पण आपण 2 स्टेप मॅग्निफिकेशन करत होतो. बरोबर. सिमिलरली एकदा आपण स्ट्रीपच्या पॉइंटला करायचो आणि एकदा तुमच्या पर्टिक्युलर पॉइंटरला करायचो. तर सिमिलरली याच्यात मल्टिपल मॅग्निफिकेशन पॉसिबल असतात. Mechanism carrying pointer is very light and not sensitive to vibration. ह्या मेकॅनिझम जो पण कॅरिंग पॉइंटर आहे, जो आपल्याला रिडिंग शो करतोय, तो लाईट वेट आहे, त्याचा इनर्शिया कमी आहे. दॅट्स वाय सेन्सिटिव्हिटी त्याची कमी असेल. व्हायब्रेशन्स झाल्यामुळे तो सेन्सिटिव्हली मूव्ह नाही होणार, व्हायब्रेट नाही होणार, म्हणजे आपल्याला एक स्टेबल रिडिंग मिळेल. As these instruments are usually operate on AC supply, the cycle vibrations substantially reduce errors due to sliding friction. So these all instruments working on your AC supply. So due to the variation in your cycle, sustainability reduce the errors due to sliding frictions. Means we are using, if you are using here DC supply, then vibrations are more, and that's why your errors are also more. But these devices works on your AC supply. That's why the cyclical vibration are very limited and you are getting a stable reading. Measuring unit can be made very small. It is not necessary that the indicating instrument be placed close to the measuring unit. Rather, it can be placed to a remote or distance location. So one more advantage is here, your display unit where you can see the value that can be placed at some point, so where one can just adjust the value, and your measuring unit you can place somewhere else. So this is also one more advantage, because uh, the display unit work as a portable device, so that you can move it any point. So it will help to read the particular reading at one place. Okay. Now disadvantages also given. Okay. Just 10 minutes remaining to stop the lecture, but I will cover this disadvantage part and application part. And in next lecture, we will see what is LVDT in details. Okay. So disadvantages of electrical comparators. Electrical comparator requires an external agency to operate an AC electric supply. Thus, the fluctuation in voltage or frequency of electrical supply may affect the results. Like your pneumatic comparator, where we are using the electricity just to compress the air, but here the continuous supply of electricity is required. If there is no electricity, no reading possible. So that is the most important disadvantages of this device. You are required a continuous supply of electricity, and if there is a fluctuation in voltage or frequency occurs, your results affected. Okay. So that will also affect on your reading. So that is the main disadvantages of this system. Now, heating of coil in the measuring unit may cause zero drift, leading to produce error in calibration. So due to excess supply, the heating of coils is occurred and you get zero drift, and that leads the more errors in your calibration. Okay. Accuracy may be affected due to variation in temperature and humidity. So also temperature and humidity factors affected to your accuracy in this device. These instruments are generally more expensive than the mechanical counterpart. So obviously the parts are more, uh, external parts are more. That's why the cost of this particular device is also very large as compared with your other devices. So these are some disadvantages. Okay. Just 1 minute. I will keep your attendance first. Otherwise, the lecture was closed. Okay. Let us see application of electrical comparator. Use as measuring head when there is need of precise measurement, for example, checking or comparison of workshop trade slip gauges against the inspection gauges. Use as electrical gauging head to provide the indications. Means for precision measurement requirement, we use the electrical comparator for higher precision, like your sleep gauges inspection. In time of your sleep gauges inspection, we use the electrical comparator. So it is not most widely used in the industries. We are not using electrical comparator. Generally we use mechanical comparators. Okay, so here some measure dimension and indications are given. So what with which dimension we getting which type of indication within specified limit. If the object is within specified limit, we get green light. That is, if we show green light, then we understand that the particular device, that particular product is manufactured within limit, or okay. Undersize dimension, if suppose a part is measured manufacture undersize, if found that is produced undersize, then red light is shown, means the product is not within the range or the product is faulty, so we reject that particular product. And oversized dimension, it shows the yellow light. So in case of your red light and yellow light display, that product is not manufactured as per the dimension. If that shows the green light, so it is manufactured within, or it is uh, manufactured within the limits. Okay, so it is okay, this is not okay. These two conditions are rejected, and this one condition is for acceptance. Okay, so reading is very simple, just because of the indication in form of your lights, right? Green light, red light, and yellow light. Okay, so linear variable differential manometers LVDT is the most popular electric comparator used in conjunction with mechanical arrangement, which converts the mechanical displacement into equivalent electrical signal. So what is LVDT? That will be learn in your next lecture. Tomorrow I will cover this part. What is LVDT? Not tomorrow. We are having lecture on your Wednesday. So Wednesday we will learn about the LVDT. First of all, I will complete the first unit of your MQC also. Then we will move towards the next unit of your theory of machine. Okay, and simultaneously we are studying TOM as well as MQC. Just because I want to complete this first unit as early as possible, that's why I am utilizing some theory of machine lectures. So first I will complete this portion, and then we will start second unit of theory of machine as well as MQC parallelly. Okay, so this is all about your today's lecture. So if you are any difficulty, if you find any difficulty during the lecture, I will also put the recorded video in your group. So watch it again, and for any difficulty ask me. Okay, your attendance, only 8 students are present. Okay, now I will stop the lecture.